Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today I want to show you how to take rose cuttings and grow your own rose bushes from roses that you might already have. Hi Kona. You have your little chair, comfy little spot. So a couple of weeks ago we showed you guys how we pruned this rose bush here, and it has just exploded with new growth and roses. Really lovely pink roses. So I'm going to see if I can take a couple cuttings off of this guy. This one hasn't yet put out a whole lot of new growth yet, but I've also got a couple in the front yard that I'm going to take some cuttings from. Alright, so I have my cutting here. It's partially some new growth, but a decent amount of old growth as well. I have a rooting hormone and shears and my potting soil. So what I'm going to do is take my cutting and my shears and clip off a lot of the leaves. I'm cutting the leaves in half here to reduce the amount of surface area of the leaves. The leaves evaporate moisture, so we want to reduce how much moisture is being evaporated from the cutting. It looks like it might be enough. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about an inch of the stem here and score it. This is going to encourage the cutting to put roots out. Encourage it to put out new growth. And make sure the end is a nice, pointy, clean cut on the end. That wasn't very clean. There you go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my rooting hormone, because I actually haven't used this jar yet. Fresh from Amazon. What I'm going to do is take the cutting and dip it right into that powder. Now I don't want to wipe this off when I stick it into the potting soil. So I'm going to make a little hole with my fingers, stick the rose down in, and cover it back up. Now I've brought my rose back inside, and what I'm going to do is spray it down really well and make sure the soil is nice and moist. And what I've got here is a quart-sized mason jar. I'm going to place over the rose. Hopefully, well, I'm jostling it a bit. Alright, it took 2 hands to do, and I had to trim off a little bit more of the taller stalk, but I placed the mason jar over the rose cutting, and what that's going to do is going to really trap moisture into that environment and keep the cutting nice and humid. So we want the rose cutting to stay wet so that it doesn't dry out, because if it dries out, it's not going to root. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to check periodically, and if it needs to get more water, I'm just going to spray down the sides of my pot here, and that's going to wick more moisture into underneath the quart mason jar and wick it right up the rose. So hopefully here in a few weeks, maybe closer to a month, we're going to have a new rose bush.